What up, party people? It's your girl, Ellie B, coming at you live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Pardon for the sound of my voice. I have a killer cold. I don't know what it is. I thought it would go away. I thought it would heal itself. I was wrong. It's kicking my butt. So, in my rest that Robert has prescribed me, I have decided to get my vlogs done because you know me, I can't just sit still. So bear with me while I sneeze and cough and tell you all about Egypt. So here we go. So I know you're probably thinking, Ellie B, why are you starting with Egypt? You haven't even told us about your Christmas holiday. And that's a great question. And the answer is simple. The answer is I don't remember anything about Christmas. And Egypt was more recent. So I'm going to start with what I remember, and then I can go back and look at pictures from Christmas and remind myself what I did in the whirlwind month of December. So let's dive right into Egypt. Robert and I got to Egypt before the girls and Adam on the 29th of December. Hello? Yes, December. And we had a hotel like right by the airport. It was actually quite nice. I steamed for a bit, which was really lovely because I was starting to feel kind of sick. Surprise, it stayed with me. And Adam was texting with Robert, and he was like, oh yeah, we're on the tarmac. And Robert's like, oh, that's exciting. Like, you're almost here. Because they were supposed to get in at like 8 p.m. And we got in at like 3. And he was like, no, the first tarmac. So like their first flight got like hella delayed. So then they obviously missed their second flight. So then they got onto another one that landed them in Cairo at like 3 a.m. And then our flight from Cairo to Luxor on the 30th was at like 6 a.m. So we were like, okay, we'll just stay in the airport. We'll meet you there. So we got there at like 4:45. Went in. Of course, it was a cluster. Got to see them, obviously. We all went in together. Everyone is running around. I wish I could have taken a video. It's crazy. Like, just hordes of people rushing the desks. There's no lines. It's just like clusters. And you're like throwing your passport, hoping that like the lady will take your passport and be like, here's your ticket. So we're like throwing it there. And then we like have to like rush to the security line and throw our stuff in that line because there's just a hullabaloo. You could do anything you wanted in that airport because they're not checking security. Nobody is safe. It's just how you are. You're throwing your things. And then to get on the airplane, same thing. We're just all kind of launching our bodies towards the airplane. But we did end up getting there. I sat with the girls, obviously. And I got caught up on all the drama and all the deets of their lives. Not all of it, but a good majority. Myers is writing a cool book for Jules for Christmas. It's like a fashion book. It's adorable. She's like drawing like outfits and like coloring them in and stuff. It was very thoughtful. And then Luxor, we started our day strong. Now, do I regret starting our day super strong? Yes, because everyone was like bum tired. Me, Robert, the girls, everyone. So we did like 4 things, and we probably should have done like 1. So we went straight to the a temple, I think. This is where it's like, no, it's all blurring together. We went straight to a temple, and we had a tour guide. He was really nice. Told us all about the old temple. And then we went to the Valley of the Kings, and he told us all about that. And then we went to Temple of Hatshepsut, told us all about that. Then we went to Luxor Temple, and then we were in Luxor. And so he was like, okay, I'll meet you guys tomorrow, and we'll go to 2 more temples far away. Great news. So then we realized that like our hotel was like kind of gross. And he did take us to like a nice lunch. I did forget about that. We did a nice lunch in this like cool place that you would not expect to be a place you would want to eat because it was like on the road. But it was funny because like everybody just kept passing out because we were so tired and everyone was so tired and we all just kept like collapsing asleep. So like at one point Julia was like asleep standing up. Like we were tired. So we did all the tours of all the old stuff, learned a lot of cool things. And then that night for dinner, Adam was like, are you guys going to be offended if I pass out? And we were like, no. So Robert and I took the girls to this place that one of his friends suggested. I think he went there with his dad. And we ate with the girls, and we got more deets on their lives. I'm not going to say anything else. As if there's, like, this crazy drama. There's not. But we got some cute tea with them. And it was nice to see, because Robert, I mean, the last time he really hung out with them, I mean, Myers was probably like 12. Yeah, like 4 years ago. So like when we lived in, excuse me, when we lived in Spartanburg, it was like 3 years ago. So yeah, Myers was like 13, 14. So for him to get to like interact with her as a kind of an adult was cool, you know? Like you don't change really that much between like 16 and 18. Like you do, but you don't. But like middle school to high school, yeah, there's like a definite change. So it was cool to see them interact. And then the next day we woke up and did the 2 more temples that Robert and his dad did, and they were like really big. They were far away, but we all slept. Myers got a little sick in the car because it was like rickety around. And they were like, don't worry, we have breakfast for you. We were like, okay. And then we got there and it was like sandwiches, but it was like a cheese sandwich and then like a meat sandwich and then like, I don't know, tomato sandwich. It was just weird. So we were like, well, we're starving to death, so we desperately need food. And I genuinely don't remember what we had for dinner New Year's night. I really don't. It's lost to me. Oh. Nope. Don't remember. Can't fathom it. Well, it's gone forever then. But New Year's, so that was New Year's night. We ate dinner at some mystery restaurant that I can't recall. And then we tried to take flash photos on the veranda, as we like to do. Didn't really work out. Wasn't much flash photography to see. I didn't have a good outfit this time because we packed really light, so we tried. And then we were like, oh, we have to go, for New Year's, we have to stay up, we have to go watch the fireworks because the pictures online made it seem like there are these huge fireworks over the temple. And so we like walked down there and there's like a lot of people and everyone's shouting and getting in our face. And the fireworks were so poo-poo. We were like, oh, it was like one firework over there, one firework over there. Like just like regular citizens with Roman candles. Like it wasn't, maybe a little more than Roman candles, but like it wasn't anything crazy. So we were like very disappointed. And so we went home and went to sleep because we had to catch another flight in the morning. So New Year's Day, we caught a morning flight back to Cairo. And our first night in Cairo was at the Mina House. So we got to Cairo, we kind of just vibed, which was really nice. I don't think we did anything in Cairo. No, we did. We got to Cairo and we went straight to the other pyramids. So we got picked up from the airport in the van and went straight to the other pyramids. And it was like the ones we could crawl in. And so everyone was like wigging out because it was the first time. Like, you're crawling in a pyramid. But there were these bats. And like one lady was like, hey, like just try not to do flash photography or shout. There's these bats. And we were like, yeah, of course. And then there was like this Italian group behind us and they were like screaming. And we were like, hey guys, like there are bats, like they'll wake up. And they were like, okay. And then they were still screaming. And this bat, Robert and I were like, just, try not to shout. And this bat literally was like asleep and it like looked up at Robert and I and we were like, oh no, they're coming for us. But we got to go in and our tour guide on that one like did not stop talking. Like at one point Myers leaned over and he was like, has he breathed yet? I'm like, honestly, I don't know. He just kept rattling off information. And he had this like, he would be like, and then, so like even when he was trying to think of what to say next, he would fill the space. So there was no time to ask a question. And so there's this thing called Kunk on Earth. And it's like this funny BBC thing. And the lady, if you haven't watched it, it's really funny. It's worth watching. It's very British humor, though. She pretends to be really dumb, but, like, deadpan dumb. And so she, like, the BBC doesn't tell these, like, experts in their field that the person who's interviewing them is joking. So she, like, called in this, like, Egyptologist or whatever, and is, like, talking to this Philomena Kunk is talking to the Egyptologist about Egypt. And she's like, no, the pyramids, they're like, did they build them from the top down or from the bottom up? And the lady's like, from the bottom. And she's like, oh, and they're that shape, what, to deter homelessness? And the Egyptologist is like, no. So Myers is like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask our tour guide, like, how they built the pyramids. Trying to be funny. And so she was like, oh, when they were building the pyramids, like, did they start at the top or did they start at the bottom? And he was like, went for the next 20 minutes about the construction of the pyramid and the pyramidal shape and how like the bottom, and he didn't didn't even hesitate, didn't even pause to say, like, what? He was like, from the bottom, and when they made the triangle and they made the square base of the pyramidal shape, and we were like, oh, no. We've opened a new topic of conversation. No. So it was funny. And then I'm trying to think what else. The inside the pyramids was really, really cool. It was quite nice. And then we went to the Mina house. We had like a quality dinner at the Mina house, which was nice because we'd been hungry and very hungry. And our room was cool. We thought we were going to get to go in a steam room. We did not, which was unfortunate. But we did get to go into like, I'm pretty sure it was the kiddie pool. But it was like medium to warm. So we spent like 2 hours just like vibing in the medium warm kiddie pool. And it was great. And we played games and we chatted and we held our breath contests. And it was lovely. And then in the morning we woke up, ate our breakfast at Mina House, obvi. And then went and saw like the Grand Pyramids. And that was crazy to see them see it. They got to ride camels. They were like, are you going to ride one? I'm like, absolutely not. I've already ridden camels. I don't need to ride another camel. I don't like riding camels, and my hips hurt. So, no, I will not be riding a camel. But I got to watch them ride a camel, which was amazing. And then when they got off, Adam was, like, tearing up because that's what, like, Papa Joe rode a camel, and it was very emotional. And I had my Live Like Papa Joe t-shirt, and I didn't even use it. Like, what a waste. So they rode the camels. We saw the pyramids, the Sphinx, all that jazz. And then it was time to go to the museums. I think. Yeah, it was time to go to the museums. So we went to the museums, and the Cairo Museum is, like, still very much the Cairo Museum. Like, there's, like, it's just someone's attic. Like, people found stuff and then, like, moved it in there, and then they haven't moved it since. So that was kind of funny. And it was funny because I thought maybe I would have, like, had a fever dream about it, and, like, no, maybe it is actually, like, really well laid out or something. And I had just been, like, in a different headspace. But we got there, and even Adam and the girls were like, why is it like this? I'm like, okay, good. I'm not crazy. Like, it is poorly constructed or, like, poorly placed items. So we got to see King Tut's grave goods. We saw King Tut's body in the Valley of the Kings because he's still in his tomb. And Adam was like, hey, remind me what the story with, like, Ramses is. Because we got to see the mummies, which was, like, huge to me. I love seeing the mummies, all the mummies. And they had hair, and it was, like, freaky. And Myers kept being like, how do they have hair? What do you mean? These are, like, people. And I'm like, yeah, they are people. And I was like, oh, Ramses II, like, it's really cool to see him. Because, you know, biblically, he's, like, a big deal. And Adam was like, remind me of the story. And I was like, oh, bad word. Because I'm going to show you the most beautiful cinematic masterpiece. And so, sure as heck, we watched Prince of Egypt, the DreamWorks masterpiece animated movie. It was phenomenal. I bought it on Amazon because I was like, it's worth it. So we watched it. Actually gorgeous. Robert fell asleep, obviously. Adam made it through most of it. He was like, I think I fell asleep at the plagues. I'm like, that's the most intense song. Because it's a musical, obviously. So they did watch it. And we had a lovely conversation about Exodus, the book of Exodus. And then about Ramses, because, you know, obviously Egyptians wouldn't write about a time when they were murdering people and, like, doing genocide. So it was a very interesting conversation, very thought-provoking. Loved it. Our Airbnb. So we only did Mina House for one night because it was, like, right by the pyramids. As you can recall from when Robert and I went, it is literally 100 feet, like, not 100 feet, 100 yards from the pyramid. Like, you are literally a stone's throw away. And so we stayed there so we could be close to the pyramids. And then the other nights we stayed at this, like, really adorable Airbnb. It's, like, Robert's dream house is this Airbnb. The walls were, like, this, like, sage mint green. And then, but also, like, no, the walls were pink. The doors were, like, sage green. The floor was, like, crazy tile work. It was really, like, antique. They used a little bit of, like, mother of pearl inlay. They used old wood. They used chandeliers. Like, it was really cool. I think Robert took a video that I'll maybe put in. It was beautiful, and it had 2 bedrooms that were, like, cool as hell, and then, like, a loft that Robert slept in, and then I slept in one night, and couches and a full kitchen. It was adorable, and it was well placed, and so it was close to where, like, we could go walk to breakfast or we could go to dinner, and so it was a good location, and it was adorable. And then let's think. We went to the mosque, the, like, replica of the Blue Mosque up on the Citadel, and the girls got to go in. We, scarfed up and everything, and we got to see it, and Robert gave them a bit of a history on, what we're looking at, why it's shaped the way it is, what the, parts of the mosque are. And then it was, our last night, and so we snuggled, but we were also all very tired. I was sick. I gave it to Myers. Sorry. They had to wake up at, 7, and we didn't have to be out till 10, so we all crashed hard. And then we woke up to say goodbye, and I was like, I'm not going to the airport until 10 because the airport's kind of gross. Surprisingly, it wasn't gross. But at the time, I was like, the airport's going to be gross. There's no chance I'm going to go into it. But the last day we did a market. We went to the market, and then we did a felucca ride at sunset. So we did, the boat ride at sunset. Got to take some pictures. Got to do some funny TikToks, because there's the Nile, and there's this sound that's the Nile is a river in Egypt. Didn't have our normal flash photography on the veranda like we wanted, but that's fine. We'll do it next time. Our matching thing this year was matching lanterns from the market, because I didn't want to buy some touristy t-shirt or something, although the one in Croatia in Split was phenomenal, very funny, right? So we decided a lamp is something that's cool, and we can all light them at the same time, even if we're in different time zones and whatever. So we got lamps. Mine's over here. I can show you. My lamp. This is my lamp. My lamp. So they're all different, but they're all unique, just like us girls. And then the felucca ride, and then I don't remember where we ate in Cairo. We ate at the Lebanese restaurant that Robert and I ate at. Twice. It was very good. The potatoes were not what I wanted. But everything else is really good. It's called shish tawuk. It's a chicken kebab. Very yummy. Marinated in some juicy something. So yeah, the whole journey was phenom. Lots of good inside jokes. Myra sang this song the whole time that she only knew the first 2 words to, and it stuck in my head still. It was yeah, glow. It does that. She just would mumble the rest. But yeah. It was a good trip. I think we voted for Robert to come back on our next trip. Ugh, fine. But no, I'm glad we got to do it. It was cool. It was exciting to see something other than just Italy, Croatia. Europe is definitely unique and individual, but it's not Egypt, and Adam was freaking out every time we'd have to cross the street, because you just kind of run for your life. And then in the car, you're dodging. The driver's dodging other drivers and everything, and he was oh my God, this is so stressful. I'm yeah, welcome to Egypt, man. It was funny, they all said this was an amazing trip, and then they were and we never want to come back. I'm yep, that's how I felt the first time I came to Egypt. I was this is amazing. I don't want to be here anymore. So our next trip, we're thinking Southeast Asia. Really add another continent to the list kind of thing. I don't know why they wouldn't want to come to Saudi. But yeah, we're thinking Vietnam or Thailand, maybe China. Just kind of vibing. But yeah, if I think of anything else, I'll add it in. But I think that's it.
You look lonely.